Right, and good morning again, bikers. Yet again, something quite different. So today I'm just going to do a quick review of the Black Widow exhaust system that my son's put on his little learner Yamaha 125 and see what I think of it. Okay, so there it is. You can see it hopefully on the camera at the moment on the GoPro. It's a full system. It's very cost effective if you're used to doing exhausts on bigger bikes, which costs you a pension. I think it was £160 plus shipping from the UK. It's for about 300 something New Zealand dollars, and I don't know what the US equivalent is. That's a full system with the complete pipes. It's an easy install. It's got just the stock attachments front and back, and it has one extra connection just under the foot peg here. It's an interesting little mechanism here, but just follow the instructions and you'll be fine. And so there she is. That's the Black Widow. Whether things look good or not is subjective, but I think it looks pretty damn good, to be fair. And of course, how does it sound? Well, I should do a comparison with the old bike, but actually it was just a sewing machine, and so there's not much point in doing that. So these sorts of tests are always rubbish, aren't they, on the internet? Just with my little GoPro microphone and then playing on your phone or whatever. So it's a bit hard to tell, but it sounds great, right? All of a sudden we've gone from a sewing machine to a serious bike. So that's the Black Widow. Big question is, how does it ride? Let's get out on the road. So in my view, the Black Widow pipe looks great and it sounds awesome on this little bike, but the big question remains, how does it ride? And that's an interesting question. The only experience I have of putting a performance pipe on a little 125 like this was my son's YS125 trail bike that we started him trail riding on. He learned to ride on. It was similar to this bike. It had a very, very quiet and very heavy stock system. We replaced that with a Pro Circuit system, and the big impact on the DRZ was that it revved way more freely. It looked better, sounded better, but it revved way more freely. The stock pipe had really held it back, and so it was much quicker to get up into the higher revs and produce the little bit of power that it was capable of producing. So it made a really big difference in that respect. So that was the only experience I had, and I was sort of expecting the same on this, but that's not really been the case. So it doesn't really make it rev all that much more freely, but I don't think that is a weakness of the pipe. I think that's more a testament to Yamaha, despite the fact that their stock pipe was incredibly quiet, is that the bike revved more freely from the first instance compared to the DRZ. So that hasn't been that noticeable. I think when you roll on in the mid-range, and that is where the bike's strength is in the mid-range, that there is a bit more there, but it is subtle. So I suspect it is a bit more, but it's just a little bit. It's not in your face. But what is really obvious and interesting is the stock pipe, very intriguingly, seems to have contributed to a lot of engine braking in the stock bike. And so the transition from being positively on the throttle to off the throttle, particularly in the corners, was relatively rough, and surprisingly so for a little wee bike like this. And that's actually not a great feature. It's a little bit of a bug, right? Because little bikes are all about momentum and smoothness, and so you were sort of very back and forward when you're opening the closing the throttle at a critical point. So the really intriguing thing is that the Black Widow has really fixed that. The ride's much smoother in the transition between on and off throttle. So I roll on throttle here around this corner and then close it just for the exercise. There's virtually before I was really nodding forward, now you hardly notice it. It's nice and smooth and just enables you to ride the bike that much more smoothly, particularly through these sorts of sweeping corners and at low speed. So that's been a really big improvement. So in terms of actual riding performance, I think the biggest issue has been the bike's just so much smoother, and that is a really unexpected result for me anyway from such a small bike. But anyway, that's the experience we've had. So overall, we think the new pipe, it looks great, it sounds awesome, and it's actually improved the ride considerably. There probably is a bit more power there. That feeling of heavy engine braking, it's presumably at least partially a lack of flow, and so if you ease that up, there probably is a bit more performance, but it's a little bit difficult to tell. Maybe if you had two identical 125s and you had the stock pipe and the Black Widow one, and you jump from one to the other, you might be able to feel it more directly, but not so much, when you've just changed the bike over and then ridden it a few days later. Anyway, so the overall result though is that it's been a great investment, without a shadow of a doubt. This little pipe, it's improved the look and the sound of the bike immeasurably, and it's considerably better to ride. The transition thing is it's not a small thing. It actually makes it a lot more fun to ride, and a lot smoother and a lot easier just to keep your speed up, which is what little bikes are all about, right? If anyone doubts that, just go and sit and watch a few Moto3 races on the MotoGP and you'll see what we're on about. Anyway, so that's it. The Black Widow for the little 125, brilliant. Relatively cost effective, cost about 160 quid, about 300 New Zealand dollars plus shipping, which in terms of a new exhaust for a bike that's for the full system is a bargain. And it's great, it's a lot of fun, it's added to the bike, it makes it better to ride, better to look at and sound better. Anyway, thanks for listening. If you like the sort of stuff I'm producing, do the like and subscribe thing if you're interested. Otherwise, cheers for now.